Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let,
Thrive. What is up, Myka, man?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing, Stevie Stacks, on this cloudy but sunny Friday?
Cloudy but sunny Friday. I'm doing good. It seems like it's gonna have some rain this weekend for Easter weekend, so that kind of sucks for the kiddos, you know. But other than that, things are going pretty good. And this is episode 318 of your favorite short-term, mid-term, long-term rental podcast in the world, Live, Let, Thrive, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas. We're ready to hit it and quit it, right?
I had a different definition of that, but I don't know.
I'm going by the James Brown definition. Can I hit it and quit it?
Okay, we're doing the same definition then. Okay, so
man. Homeboy was a sex machine, right?
Yeah, he was. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Cool, brother. So we're gonna have some fun today. I don't know how we got sidetracked on James Brown, but it's all good. And that's how you start a show, man. See, James Brown, he got up there. You knew what was going to happen, right? And I know a lot of these gurus do that shit now. They think they're rock stars. And the guy that you went to see, the big dude,
Big guy. Tony Robbins.
He said he gets everybody up and jumping and moving.
Yeah.
And they get that from rock concerts or other concerts, just everybody wants to get up and move, and you're into it. You're all locked in, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you really get people motivated. Not just sit up there and start talking and showing slides and crap like that. People don't want to see that, or they're gonna fall asleep. But you get people moving, get their blood pumping and going, and you're at a show, man. Everybody's feeling it. James Brown's doing the splits. Oh, that's how you
feel
do
good.
I feel good. Oh man, living in America. That's what's
straight up.
So enough about that, man. I'm gonna start off. I went to the Texas Rangers game at the new stadium yesterday for the first time ever.
How was it?
With the family. It was pretty awesome, dude. And how I'm gonna relate this to what we do, you know, short-term rentals or mid-term or even long-term rentals, is it is pricey as hell to go to a Rangers game because tickets are reasonable, you know, and they had this school thing with my daughter's school. You can get discounted tickets. It was like $27 a ticket. Not bad, but parking was $60, right? To go park at the at the stadium. And then buying stuff, you know, of course you're going to want go splurge a little bit. Concession stands, right?
$20 for a hot dog.
$20 for like that, man. Well, probably a hot dog's $8 or $10, I think, for a regular hot dog. But then they get the boomstick, the big giant hot dog. I think that's like $22 or something like that. So it's pretty high. Yeah. And I was asking, and the girls wanted cotton candy, and those were like, shit, those were damn near $10 each, right, for a cotton candy, right? And I asked the dude because he was selling cotton candies right here, and he was selling beers right in front. You know, I didn't feel like drinking last night, but I asked him how much is that beer right there? He said $15, $15 for one beer in a can.
That's crazy.
And I was like, whoo. And I saw people chugging those things, man. It's everything was expensive as far as food and drink and stuff like that. But they provide a world-class experience there, man. I mean, there's no bad view, right? We had decent seats. Mm-hmm. And they had the music going. They had the jumbotron and getting people into it, you know, in between pitches and stuff like that. Someone hit a home run. They popped some fireworks off. I mean, it was really cool, dude. And the stadium's top notch, right? And so I was like, and I was thinking that just before we started this podcast, I was like, how am I going to relate this to what we do? And if you provide a great experience to a customer, right? Let's say short-term rental, or for example, Airbnb, you provide above and beyond experience. They're not going to mind paying more. They're not going to mind. They're not going to mind paying out of pocket. You know, I'm not saying, well, maybe if you do sell them some add-ons and stuff like that, that's cool. It's never really worked for us, but charging more, but providing more. You know what I'm saying? Because we thoroughly enjoyed that experience. It's gonna be, and we don't go to many. That was our first one to go to the new stadium, so it was like we might
Wow.
go to
Okay.
one or a couple a year. It's not like we're going to
Hmm.
these every like season ticket holders going every day, and so we're gonna enjoy it a little bit. I'm not gonna mind paying $20 for a hot dog or or $10 for a soda or whatever they charge, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna do this every day, and I'm gonna splurge a little bit. And it's another reason this is why we REI, so we can have a little bit more in pocket to enjoy life a little bit more. Freedom from the
Yes,
job and
sir.
freedom to spend a little bit of money. And so I was thinking that. I was like, but I didn't feel so bad because the experience was so cool. Brand new, shiny stadium. And I mean, it's air conditioned and the music was going on. I had music nonstop, man. It was kind of like a little mini concert there because, in between pitches and they were doing songs and so it was the experience was amazing. It was memorable. The girls
Hmm.
loved it, and so I didn't mind at all spending extra money.
Yeah. I'm. That's real. The more experience you can provide, if it's an experience for, especially for a family, yeah, people will pay the extra. I'm laying here looking because while you were talking, I'm like, I wonder how much it costs to go to a Rangers game. I see some tickets for like $95, but that school special, that was a hit. Because if you
Yeah,
got them for $27 and then you got to buy your hot dogs and all that, but that's worth it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go to a Rangers game, man.
yeah, dude.
They were playing the Dodgers.
Oh, this weekend's Dodgers. Yeah, that's probably why you're seeing expensive tickets, right?
Exactly. Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on, who were they playing when you went?
Angels last night. They played the
Ah,
Angels.
okay, okay. I thought yeah, Dodgers. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is expensive. They're playing the Dodgers, bro.
Yeah,
World
but
Series, yeah.
it was cool because our ex-manager Ron Washington he coaches the
Angels.
Angels. So he was there. Everybody gave him a
Yeah,
round of applause, because
yeah.
he led us to some good teams, man. We never won it. Got close twice, but we never won it. But so yeah, like I said, if you provide a unique experience to your guests, go above and
Hmm.
beyond, they're not gonna mind paying more.
No,
Now they
never.
get pissed when you say, "Hey, ultra luxe property," and they show up. What the hell is this? People putting lux on everything.
Yeah, if you overpromise and underdeliver, that's a problem. That's why I always like to underpromise and overdeliver
I like
at
to
times.
I like to underpromise and underdeliver.
That works too. It's just, hey, look, it attracts a different clientele, but it
I'm
works.
I'm Walmart. I ain't Neiman Marcus, man.
There you go. It attracts a different clientele. You got to know your clientele, straight up, man.
But
Um,
yeah, go
Go ahead.
ahead. No, no, that got me thinking about other aspects, even PadSplit providing a better experience to PadSplit guests.
Have you gone live? Have you gone live yet, or not
No,
yet?
no, no. I'll tell you more about that. You were gonna mention something. Let me go back to PadSplit after
No, yeah,
you.
go. Oh, all I was mentioning was, like everyone's starting to compete with Airbnb now. ALE has its own temporary housing app. So like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So basically, they don't have it to where you can list on there yet, but you can list like, if you go to ALE, you can just upload your properties or whatever. But they are starting to get into the game. Like they have their own little temporary housing app. So I'm guessing they're going to start letting people go in, see what houses are available. I don't know if they're going to put that on the app yet, but it's just things I'm starting to notice with like the insurance company. Maybe they want to cut Airbnb out too. So I don't know. Like I'm for real because like HomeLink, they are all for it, but I mean that you got to imagine the fees that they pay.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. So it's interesting. But yeah, go back to PadSplit. What were you gonna say?
No, no. Providing okay, yeah, that was mentioning providing a good experience in PadSplit, but I did talk to. I told you I did. I think I brought it up on the show. I did a walkthrough, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The guy from PadSplit, walked it and told me what we could do.
Hmm.
And so I talked to the guy that he designs the pad splits and he puts up walls. The guy over here in Dallas, and I was telling him, yeah, this is what Justin, which episode 317. I'm sorry, yeah, 317 is me interviewing Justin from Pad Splits. Y'all gonna hear
Yeah.
that episode before this one, and so anyways, I told him what Justin told me that we should do and this and that, and yeah, I even that app. I got to bring up that app too, because what Justin did,
Okay.
it's the app I sent you as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He used this app called real quick, Cubicasa, Cubicasa, and what it does, you get the app, you hit the record button or whatever, and you
Yeah.
walk around about chest level with your phone pointing. Just walk around the walls. Just go
Hmm.
around the whole house, right? Around every wall. Go through the bathroom, everything, and then you send it off to Cubicasa, and then later that day, it sends you like the floor plan with
Dang.
square footage and everything, where the toilet is. It's
Game
a,
changer.
it's free. And I was like, holy crap. He uses it because it's perfect for what they do because
Hmm.
he goes and walks people's houses and he sends that, the diagram, okay, this is where we're going to put a wall, this is where we're going to do this and that. And so I sent that through that the floor plans to the guy that fixes these creates more rooms.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess whatever you want to call him. He's the
Hmm.
contractor that creates more rooms in your house because the way PadSplit works best is if you can create a couple more spaces. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Turn a 3-2 into a 6 and a 4 into a 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying? As long as
Yeah.
it's the ratio is 3-1 bedroom to bathroom, or
Okay.
maybe pushing it as 4-1 bedroom to bathroom, then that's you can't have anything. You can't have 5 bedrooms sharing one bathroom. That just it doesn't work very well.
No.
you know? But three to
No.
one is optimal. 4-1 is pushing it a little. So they tell you how to get the most out of the home. And one of the things was like the in the master bedroom,
Hmm.
he made it where there's like I think we mentioned this on a previous show, but yeah, he made a hallway through there so people can get access to that
To the
second
private
bathroom.
bathroom. Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it wouldn't just be for one bedroom, so everybody can use that bathroom, right? Now I
Okay.
wouldn't. I was just thinking that now, man. I wouldn't really want that room, right by the bathroom. Someone could drop some bombs in there, and and you, God dang it, man. Open the
Straight
window.
up, man. Yeah, you got to walk through you walking through somebody's bedroom to get to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm good
No,
on that.
well, it's not going through the because it's walled off. So the
Yeah, yeah.
bedroom, yeah, it's just close by. It's
Yeah, yeah,
close proximity.
yeah.
Yeah, somebody open a window. Uh,
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I wouldn't want that bedroom either.
so I had that guy give me a quote, and this house is a 4-2, originally
Yeah.
4-2, has like an add-on, second living room in the back, and it's about 15, a little over 1,500 square foot, right?
Okay.
So not a huge house. But they're gonna squeeze 2 more bedrooms out of it. The back add-on room is gonna be another bedroom, and then the front is gonna be another bedroom when you
Hmm.
walk in, and there's still gonna be enough, pretty good space for the I guess what's left of the living room and the
Yeah, yeah.
dining room. There's still a place for them to eat and chill, whatever.
Okay.
Common area. There you go.
There you go.
And so he gave me a quote, putting up a few walls, you got to insulate them, put electricity, stuff like that, and putting the doors and stuff like that. It came out to like 12 grand, right?
Okay. 12,000.
12 grand. Now I was doing the math to rent my house regular. Probably right now I could probably get around 2,200 a month, right?
Hmm.
And the pad split guy is saying I can get about 4,300 a month doing it the pad split way, right?
Hmm.
And what's cool, this guy also he said that he can also furnish the rooms for me as well,
Okay.
and he would charge around 1,100 bucks a room, which I think I could probably do it cheaper than that,
Yeah.
because we have experience doing the Airbnbs and stuff,
Yeah.
and I think I can get a better deal, but not. I don't know now with the tariffs, who knows? But I just know
Straight up.
Nikes are high as hell now. What the hell?
Yeah.
But
Straight
so
up.
so I'm thinking, 12 grand for that and then add a few more. So we're looking at 16, 17 grand for the works, for everything, right?
Hmm.
And he even put the kitchen table and stuff like that. He don't believe in putting any furniture in the living room. He don't want people having guests and congregating and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's his philosophy. And he has 90 doors, you know, but his doors are rooms, so it makes it a little bit more. So and a lot of his houses have like 8 bedrooms, so he
So,
maximizes his.
so what's he do with like the common area?
Uh,
He
he
just
don't he don't put nothing in there.
that's
He just puts like a dining table.
like a little coffee bar? Nothing?
That's and
Yeah, that's all I'm looking.
I'm coming from the Airbnb world, right? And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, put a coffee bar. This would be cool. That.
Yeah.
And I even told that to Justin when he walked in. He said, he goes, yeah, a lot of Airbnb people think like that, but really, man, he goes, people are just, mostly hanging out in their rooms. It's not like
Mm,
a social thing. And then he goes, also, you don't want to encourage them to bring guests over. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because it is a no guest policy.
Really?
And
Okay.
yeah, and then keeping track of the coffee area and stuff like that. It makes more. I guess to them, it makes more moving pieces for them to keep a good house together. Like
Okay.
because you're gonna have the regular gripes of hey, someone left some plates in the sink or someone did this or
Yeah.
that. You start adding more and more items, then hey, someone didn't
Okay.
change out the coffee thing. Someone left a I don't know. To
I
them,
get it.
it's simple. It's like we have to like train our mind to think differently than Airbnb. Airbnb want to provide the best experience,
Experience.
nice coffee
Yeah.
bars, nice sofas, nice big old TV. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. We'll put a big old TV in the living room. No, no, you don't want them being hanging out in the living room. And
Mm.
I was like, okay, I guess it's just an area to go, put a little table there that they could check their mail and stuff like that, and maybe someone could eat there if they wanted to, or warm up some food. But he said a lot of people just, take their little meal to their room. Provide some people provide mini fridges in the rooms and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and they
that's what I
keep their
would do.
fridge. That's what I was thinking that too. I was like, because then you won't have the fights over the people eating other people's stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Somebody's McDonald's that got ate, man. Cause a
It's
problem. For real.
gonna be a problem here. So anyways,
That's interesting.
it is interesting. It's different than it's just back kind of like opposite of how we would think of doing something. But that's what he swears by how it works. And he was talking about, mentioning keeping the common areas clean or whatever, keeping the house clean. He said that one successful way to do it, people have cleaners. Sometimes they do the cleaners go through whatever, but a successful way to do it, and it takes and the people that are living there have more ownership in the house itself is like you schedule different days for different rooms and you put it on the thing. Hey, room number one, Mondays is the day that you clean up a little the common area, right? Room number two, Tuesday is your day to do it. Room number three, or however you want to set it up,
Really?
and it kind of helps keeping the place clean and keeping ownership, and then people encouraging other people, hey,
Yeah.
room number one was supposed to clean today or whatever the hell, and so instead of just he goes, it's just like raising kids. If you go and clean
Yeah.
up after them and go clean their room and clean all their dishes for them, they're gonna turn in. What are they gonna turn into? Lazy, and they're not gonna
Yeah.
do. They're not gonna want to
Straight
do
up.
nothing, right?
Straight up.
It's just
For
like
real.
it's just like raising kids. So that's what he suggested. Put a little schedule there, and then room one does it's their day to do it, and blah blah blah,
Mm.
and yeah. So or some people have one person that lives there, and they knock off some part of the rent if they keep the common areas clean. That's another way to do it. But it's
I
just
like that. I like that better.
right, right. And here's something, man. And it's so funny because not too long ago, my
Hmm.
nephew, right? He's
Yeah.
in college now. He just transferred to UT Arlington.
Okay.
And he was hitting me up asking me if I had any places over there. I said, "Well, I got some houses, Arlington and Grand Prairie." He goes, "Well, I just want pretty much a one bedroom and I don't want to spend too much money. I was looking for to spend like $600." And I was like, "Damn, that's like my day." Back when one bedroom for $600, that's in my
Yeah.
day. I said, "You can't touch nothing under 12, 1400 for the ghetto one bedroom, right?"
Yeah.
And so, but then. And my wife is the one that brought it up. She said, "Wow, now if you do that PadSplit thing, because she's starting to think about it a little. At first, she did,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna turn my house into Frankenstein, but but
Yeah.
now she's thinking, well, now you can have a room for Landry. And I said, that's not a bad idea. My
Heck
nephew,
yeah.
my grown up, and I said, I'll let him stay there free if he just takes care of the common areas. I might even leave a
Bro,
lawnmower there."
bro, check it out. You should get him and then get a college student at each one taking care of it and reduce their rent. That's how you keep the place clean. See what I'm saying? Just put one,
Mm.
because you're already at UT Arlington, right?
Oh,
It's
I
right
see.
there.
Like the next
Yeah.
house you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Next house, get another college student. Hey, you stay for free or reduce rent. Honestly, you can stay for like 300 a month, but you have to make sure the place is clean.
Yeah, I want to see photos
Yeah.
send me photos every day or whatever.
Yeah. See, because
That's it.
there's job boards up at the UT Arlington, and you can go ask for like help, like someone who wants to do like a internship or anything. Man, they'll put it out there for you.
That's a great idea. You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
college student, charge them
Because
half price or
honestly,
whatever.
if I was you, man, I would actually. How much are your rooms gonna go for?
So, I think he said anywhere from 150 to 180 range a week, right? Because it's weekly. And
150.
when he added it up, it was like 4,300. Like I said, for the whole thing.
How about for one? So 150 times four, 600 a month. That's what your nephew's asking, basically.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 150.
4,300 divided by 6 rooms is $716 a room. But some rooms are bigger, some rooms are smaller. So
Yeah.
it averages about $716. So that's what I'm not. Yeah, like I said, that's pretty much what
How much is PadSplit taking? Nothing.
the way they do it. They take a percentage up front, and after that, it's like less. It's less the longer you're in. Like the first
Okay.
when you first start with them, they take a like a 10% or so percentage
Okay.
of your first month's rent, and then after that, it's like a small percentage.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just that first initial hit. So it said that in that first year, it's kind of like they're getting uh, almost 1 month's rent. But after that, they don't do that. You don't get that hit again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, they make their money off of
The setup and getting on the platform.
yeah the basically initial onboarding is where they make the majority of their money.
Right, right.
Okay. So they want doors basically. They want a bunch of doors. Okay. Hmm. Okay, that ain't bad. But yeah, I would consider like just getting a college student to do it, or if you're gonna pay the 12,000 out of pocket, just see if you could house all the college students yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you could just easily go get the like if you see that they're not fulfilling what they say you said, just tell your nephew, be like, hey, put it out there. Hey, I'm looking for some college kids, but you don't want the parties and stuff. But I don't. If you vet them good enough, I think you'll be good. But yeah, man, you got some
Right.
opportunity with that.
It's a lot of opportunities, man. And I was and no, but how do what was I gonna say? Trying to
Yeah.
because and the way you mentioned it's happened before, like in apartments complexes, for example, mom and pop apartment complexes. Either the mom and pop live on site and they can
Yeah.
keep eyes on the property at all times and do whatever little maintenance things, and the
Hmm.
dad the dude would do the maintenance and the wife would clean the whatever perimeter. It's like their little.
Yeah.
But there's always been apartments where they let a maintenance dude live there for free, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
And so he'd live on site and then he could take care of issues. So there was always been this trade for someone to take care of something. So I see it. Yeah, I see it working with your pad split as well.
Yeah. Because I remember basically Mahogany basically went to college out of a pad split because there was these big ass apartment complex in Austin right down the street from the college, right? But how they were set up was every door was four different bedrooms. And then there's four bedrooms, two baths per door.
Hmm.
And I think he was paying like 700 a door. Well, 700. So 700 times four, you're looking at what? 20. I'm not good at math off the top of my dome. But you're looking at
2,800.
what? 28 plus another 28. So you're looking at what? 30, what?
5,600.
5,600 a door. That's 100 doors in there.
Oh,
So
okay.
no, 400 doors. So 400 doors because it's a big ass apartment complex. So man, that's crazy money, but it's right by a college as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's something to think about. I think PadSplit can work, man.
I'm on the precipice of trying, and the
Yeah,
guy gave me the quote. Like I said, like about 12 grand to do all that stuff, right?
yeah,
Now, of course, I'm gonna hit up my handyman Pablo.
yeah.
Shout out to Pablo, and have him walk it and show him what's wanting to be done. Because when you make a room a little bit smaller to accommodate a hallway, you have to like move a ceiling fan. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh
it's right in the
yeah.
middle. You got to move it a little. That's
Hmm.
another thing you got to do. So there's different stuff you got to do, and you got to set up the electricity throughout the walls because every wall has to have two outlets or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that
per room. I see what you're doing.
per room. So anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna have him walk it with me, see what price he, because I kind of alluded to the fact that Boca, the condo I have, that 2 bedroom, 2 bath condo, kind of in the
Yeah.
hood,
Hmm.
that I made it into a 3 bedroom because Pablo put a wall and a door and one of the like the middle dining room area, and he kind of walled it off and then put a door, so I made like a third bedroom.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So he already did something like this. I
Yeah.
wasn't even really knowing about PadSplit back then. I've heard about it, but
Hmm.
I never even thought of it because it won't work there because it's a
Yeah. Yeah.
HOA community
Yeah.
and whatever.
Hmm.
And so, but it works out of houses in the
Yeah.
not the best area for some.
Coming up. On the come up. I'm happy you brought that up because somebody asked me if they had because they have a house in not the best area. They wanted to Airbnb it, and I completely forgot about the pad split thing. So I'm gonna reach back out to them and let them know that may be an option. Um, so I read this article because we're talking about college students and housing, and well, college students aren't millennials, but I'm a millennial. Oh, are you on the cusp of being a millennial?
Yeah.
You're a millennial, yeah. So this article said something, and this relates to what we do, finances, stuff of that nature. It said millennials are the most non-financially stable group. And everyone kind of was like, "Oh yeah, that's because of the pay." And I was like, but my question I asked in there was, "Is that because of the pay, or is it because of our spending habits?" Right. So I kind of wanted to see what was your take on. I'm going to give you Mahogany's take. Mahogany had a really good take. She goes, it's a little bit of both. She goes, but spending habits is definitely true because if you look at past generations, they didn't have access to just get on their phone and just go on Amazon and blow half their check like that, right? And I was like, yeah, instant gratification, that's a thing. So I was like, what do you think about that? Like, because supposedly, I guess millennials, the home ownership's going down behind millennials, and it's like I see it because people my age, they're comfortable renting. I'm like crazy as hell, but what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely say spending habits are way, way different than our parents because uh, I don't remember us going out to eat hardly ever. It was a treat to go out to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, just our generation goes out to eat all the time. We go to
it's
bars.
true.
We go eat all the time. We go to fast food. I mean, it's like we don't cook. Damn, my mom was cooking every day.
Yeah,
Every day she cooked, right?
yeah.
But we don't cook that much, man. Not compared to eating out.
Yeah, compared to last generations, you're right, man. And I always say I do think it's more to our spending habits than to our actual like I don't think there's a pay issue. There's a pay issue sometimes, but most of the time, if you save your money correctly, like how we talked about to people all the time, and they say, "Oh, it's expensive to get into real estate and all this," but you got two car notes. Yeah, it might be expensive for you. Get rid of something, So
Yeah, no,
like
for real.
people have all these extra bills. So it was interesting. I read that and I was watching people's opinions on it. It was a really good article and opinions on that.
Yeah, and then we're just fed commercials all day, man. I mean, back in the day,
True.
we'd watch TV, and there was commercials. There's always been commercials, and we always wanted things, right?
It's true.
And but now those commercials don't stop at the TV. We're scrolling all day, and it's commercials,
Yep.
commercials, commercials. You need this, you need this, you need this. Food commercials, everything commercials, right?
Yeah.
New car, new car, new car. And then yeah, it's just this advertising that's constantly being beaten into us nonstop. It's nonstop. And it wasn't like that before. As soon as we left the house, maybe billboards, but
Yeah.
as soon as we
Yeah.
left the house, we were free from our, the phone was at home, you know.
Straight up.
Now we're just staring at these little mini computers all day, and it's telling us to buy and buy and buy more stuff.
You're right, man. I sure forgot about advertising. Cause yeah, you scroll all day. Yeah, you're right. Billboards is the only thing, we had. Now it's like all day in your face, somebody advertising something,
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something on that note because I remember this was back in the day. I was living in like a 1 bedroom apartment, right?
Yeah.
And and this is before smartphones too.
Hmm.
And so I remember just back before scrolling, sometimes you just be in bed at night at 1 a.m. just flipping the
Yeah.
channel, and just not watching nothing, just seeing what's on. And I remember I wired my apartment for free cable, It was easy. Just
Yeah.
go down to the thing and hook it up. And I had all the channels, but with all those channels, I still didn't just kept scrolling, just kept
Yeah.
flipping. I just got so pissed. I was like, what the hell am I doing? It's already past 2 o'clock, and I'm just wasting my time, not sleeping, not doing anything productive. So I unplugged that TV from the wall, unhooked the cable, just set it in the corner. And I got
Good.
rid of TV, right? And I said,
Yeah.
if I want to listen to the game, I'll listen on radio, you know?
Yeah.
And it was funny going like a blast from the past. But I remember I still wanted to watch the Cowboys games on Sunday. So my buddy
Yeah.
Raul, I would
Hmm.
say, "Hey man, I'm gonna go over to your house to watch the game." You know, he'd always invite me over. And so Sunday morning I'd make me a nice breakfast, you know, and I'd go out, I'd splurge a little on breakfast, make a nice big breakfast. And I got over to his house and sat down, started watching the games and stuff, and just commercial. Oh man, they hit you hard on NFL day. Food
Oh
commercial,
yeah, that's where they
the
make that money,
wings,
bro.
the Sonic, the pizzas. I mean, I was like, damn, I'm getting hungry, dude. It's like, you hungry? So,
Man,
yeah, I'm hungry too. I'm like, but I just ate. I just made me a huge ass breakfast. I just
yeah,
ate, and I was
yeah,
starting to rumble, man. I was like, all these
straight up,
commercials, and
bro.
that was just back when only got it from the TV. Like I said,
Yeah.
now we get it all day, every day.
See, and the crazy part is, have you ever seen these new commercials now, where like, let's say a DoorDash commercial comes up,
Yeah.
the little advert, you can little scan the little QR code in the corner and just order something off DoorDash. It's like instant gratification now. It's crazy.
Man.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. Yeah, yeah, man. I know what you mean. So that is the spending habits have definitely changed from then to now. You got to have a lot more discipline, bro. You got to have a lot more discipline because, yeah, man, millennials, like people my age, like when I tell them I started buying houses in my 20s, they're like, "What? Really?" I'm like, "Yeah," but you listen to them, they have other types of spending habits. So, yeah, for sure, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how the
and,
world has
and that
changed.
and I mentioned it before, and I've been to these friend buddies, when their kids get married now,
Yeah,
and the first thing they want as soon as they get married is they want a brand new house, McMansion, and they want
yeah.
the jacked up truck and the nice car, right, for the
Mm.
girl. And I'm like, man, if they could only get just a starter home and some used cars that get them to and from work, if they only did those two things, right, they could start stacking cash and then hop to the next one, just
Hmm.
build some rental property. But they try to spend exactly as much as they make or more than they actually make right on day one. They can't do it.
Crazy,
They're
bro.
stuck into that house.
Hmm.
And the crazy thing is, a few years later, they want to move to a bigger house, even though they already got the McMansion. It's just how our brains work. We always want more and more and bigger and bigger. Shout out to me and you because we've
Yeah,
stuck to our houses for quite, longer than most of our
yeah,
generation does, right? We've
yeah.
we've stuck to our houses, and
It's
yeah,
it's a lot of this, like, and that's why I love our show because we talk about the investing side, but the financial literacy side, I think that's what it comes down to. Because like the two car notes with a big ass house payment, like, bro, you're doomed to be middle class the rest of your life and working at a job. It's like
Mhm.
that's the ultimate destruction. Then they go and have 3, 4 kids, plus like all these car notes. It's like, bro, you're doomed to work the rest of your life, right? So, yeah, man, I think financial literacy has a lot to do with that. Because I remember you said that on the last couple of episodes. People go buy these big houses instead of getting a starter home. If you get a starter home, you could actually get a starter home, sit in it for 5 or 6 years. And if you want a McMansion, you could take the equity from your starter home, go get the McMansion, and now you even lower your payment possibly. I don't know now because interest rates sky high, but you could do that back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. It's interesting how mindsets have changed.
But what I see a lot too is even like an older generation
Hmm.
creeping towards retirement and wanting to go get into a big McMansion. I'm like, wait a minute, your kids are gone. It's only gonna be the two of y'all. You think you're gonna see the grandkids all the time, but people are busy. They're not gonna come over that often. Just be real, man.
Bro,
It's
you're explaining my parents right now. Go ahead.
it's just y'all two. That's it. You don't need a McMansion. You need a little condo on the
Straight
beach.
up. Straight up. That's what I'm saying, man. Go get you a condo on the beach or a little 3 bed, 2 bath in a 55 older community and chill, man. Cause those 55 older communities, those are taking over, bro. Like they're everywhere. People want to talk about there ain't no housing shit. Tell them to stop housing the old people. Th- I'm joking. But no, man, those 55 plus communities, they're like all of Mansfield down in that area, they're taking over. And they're nice ass communities, swimming pools and everything. So yeah, man, it is like even the older, you know what I think it is? I've said this before. It's like if you win the lottery, right? When you win the lottery, most of those people go broke. Why? Because they ain't used to having that much money. So I think it's the same thing when you've worked for 30, 40 years. You become 65. Now, hey, you have access to your entire 401k. What are they going to do? They go blow that shit. And then the next thing you know, they're the greeter at Walmart. So I'm just, so you're like, bro, but that's why I think, and this is why I'm going to pull this all back around. That's why I think it's important to start a business so you can start learning how to get large lumps of cash at one time and then learn how to manage it. Because when you get out from under that 9-to-5 world, you're retired, you're 60, you got grandkids. Your grandkids ain't trying to come see you at Walmart being the greeter because you didn't blew your 401k. You know what I mean? And to me, I don't think a 401k is a retirement. I think it's a tax write-off basically until you need it. Then you didn't probably blew it already.
It is. I'll give it props because it is a vehicle for you to buy properties if you use it like that.
Yes, and that's that financial literacy piece. That right there, what you're doing, using your 401k to do it. That's like a lot of people, they don't understand to do that, or they'll sit there and say, it's a risk to do that. I'm like, it's a bigger risk to be 60 something, get all your 401k and you blow it because you ain't never had that much money in your life. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But
just think about it. I mean, how I used my 401k is, let's just say you have a big chunk of money. Let's just say you have a couple 200,000 sitting in there, right?
Yeah.
You can't access it to. I mean, you're gonna get penalties and stuff if you pull it out early and all that before whatever the retirement age is. But you can borrow against it, and you could borrow. And mine is what is mine? It's the green one, the green Fidelity.
Okay.
They charge you $50 to do a loan. $50. That's it. So you pull it. Let's just say you pull out a chunk of money and say, I want to put a down payment on a house. Pull out $50,000, right? And then and I got a loan against my 401k for $50,000. And so I just paid in monthly installments. I could choose 12 months. I could choose 24 months. I think there's a few options, right? Yeah. And so you're paying yourself back. I think the interest rate is like 4 or 5% at a low interest rate. But not only that interest goes into your account as your money. You're paying yourself with interest. You're not paying, the interest ain't going to a bank. The interest is going back to you and your account. So it's like free money you can use. There's no tax. There's no taxes you got to pay on it and nothing.
Bro, that's a hit.
Yeah.
And people that's the financial literacy piece people don't realize. And I know because we've gotten so far into where we are now, we sometimes forget to like start breaking stuff like that down, like how you can use a 401k, lines of credit, because that right there is a hit. I remember you used to talk about that all the time, you know, because if you're paying yourself back interest and the property you got is going up in value, you could refinance the money back, put it back, refinance it, put the money back and go do it again.
Now, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb and pull out a 401k loan and go buy a car. Then you're an idiot.
Yeah, don't be. Straight up. People do that, man. People do that, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah, the dude who's making $50K a year but drives a Corvette. Yeah, we know why. For real, people do that crap, man. But yeah, man, it's it's interesting, you know. And I think we got to definitely start touching on that financial literacy piece because we've used a lot of creative ways to get into real estate.
I had an epiphany today.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do it. And we don't really talk about stocks a lot in this show, but I think now's a good time to buy Nike, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I know people say the tariffs, the prices of Nike's higher because they get all their stuff from Asia, right? They get all their stuff from Asia, and now their prices are going up. They got such a strong brand. People are gonna still buy Nikes no matter what. They don't care if that Jordans went from $200 to $250 or whatever it is. They're still going to buy them. They're still going to buy the regular, Nike Airs, whatever, that went up another $50. People are still going to buy them because it got that swoosh, man. That's a powerful swoosh. And so the price is going to go up. People are still going to buy their Nikes. The brand loyalty, right? You got to build a brand.
Right there.
So let's say, okay, Trump or whoever the government is or the next president, they settle these trade disputes and the prices go back down, right? Or the tariffs go back down. You think Nike's going to lower their prices if they already they already got their customers used to paying more? You think they're going to all of a sudden out of the goodness of their heart drop the prices?
No, not
So
at
how
all.
much freaking profit they're gonna make because of the tariffs made them raise their prices so high, and then the tariffs go away, but they keep the prices higher?
That's exactly what they're gonna do. It's just like, hey, we live in Texas. I think you're the one who brought this up. We live in Texas. We pay toll road fees. Toll roads already built and paid for. You think they're gonna stop charging a toll fee?
No.
Oh, you're used to paying it.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, you forgot what it was for anyway.
Right.
You're right, man. And then that goes back to what we started the show with: brand loyalty and creating something that a customer wants to come back to every time. Right there is brand loyalty. Yes, I think Nike. Um, I'm on the fence about building this house because I have I'm getting, my duplex is being built, but it's almost it'll be done in June before the tariffs hit. But I have a plot of land that me and my siblings are considered building on. But I'm like, damn, I don't know how much lumber and all that's gonna be because I don't know how much that's gonna be once the tariffs hit. But we'll see. But yeah, man, it's as long as you're focused on winning, you're gonna win. Straight up.
Right, right. Find the brands that are gonna have to jack up their prices now, right? Because the tariffs will go away, the prices ain't gonna go down. So they're gonna make some mad profit once those tariffs get lifted.
Straight up. Yeah, Nike's one of them. Any type of shoe, New Balance. Well, New Balance ain't got the Nike. Yeah,
You
Nike's.
know, New Balance. I looked it up, and I looked up shoes that are made in the USA. I was like, I wonder how the prices are on those. And New Balance is made in the USA.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, man, maybe I might look into getting some New Balances, you know. But here's the thing too, and I noticed this. I was like, I seen their prices creep up too, but I think they got some space to creep up because
Yeah.
all their competitors are made out in Asia, and they just jacked up their prices way up. So New Balance, they might not go up as high, but say, hey, we can still be less than them, and
Yeah.
we can raise our prices. You know, it's just business.
Straight up. Yeah. I mean, if that you have to play this price for the Nikes, right? We don't have to go that high, but we will. I mean, we will because now we're increase profit. You know what I'm saying? Heck yeah, I would
Yeah,
do
you
it.
don't want to cost 50% less than the next guy. You want to
Yeah.
be 70, 80% less, 90%
Yeah.
less, or I'm sorry, 10%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be slightly less. So they still pick
Yeah.
me, but I still make the maximal profit I can make.
And it's funny about that because I'm going to bring this back to Airbnb. Last night, I was talking to somebody about like the difference between owning, arbitraging, and then owning for long periods of time when you're in the short term rental space, right? Because I was like, if you buy a house now that has a bunch of Airbnbs around it, they can easily price you out the market because you're on a 7% interest rate. Let's say this dude's on a 3.
Hmm.
He's on a 3. Look how much that's a barrier of entry where his costs are much lower than yours. And if you're not providing the service he provides, let's say you match him on service, but his price is still here and he's making the same amount of money as you because of the his expenses and your expenses, he can price you out. So it's one thing to always consider, when you're getting into business, understanding costs.
And,
Right there, I
and
think
understanding your competitors' costs too.
that too. A competitor's
Because
costs
that
straight up.
guy, he might be able to make $1,000 a month on his house, but he has zero. Let's just say he has a zero payment or whatever, and he's happy making $1,000, and that's good for him. And whereas other people have to make 2,500 a month just to make a little profit. Is he gonna price his house at 1,000? No, he's gonna
Hell
price his
no.
at 2,400, right under you.
Yeah, straight up, straight up.
If he's smart.
Yeah, he's gonna price it right at 2,400, and he's making the same margin as you or more.
Way
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, way more. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so funny. Like you start to see these interest rates. That's why now I'm gonna kind of relate this back to my duplex. So this duplex I'm getting, the mortgage on it on a 7%. The mortgage on it is no, I'm sorry. They quoted me at a 7.6. The mortgage is only 2,100. One side rents for 15, the other side rents for 15. I'm cash flowing 900 on long term. I'm going to do short term rental, midterm rental on it. But you have to look at that and then be like, okay, now that I have 2 units in one mortgage, I can compete with the other people that have 3 beds, 2 baths on a house. I can compete with them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you split 2,100 divided by 2, that's like 9 something coming in under about 1,000 something and some change.
Yeah,
I'm
1,050.
still winning. Yeah, 1,050. You're still, you can't lose.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
definitely. And Well, speaking of brand loyalty, what I thought about the Nike thing,
Yeah.
and we're talking about pricing because what they say, the high tide lifts all boats kind of thing.
Yep.
So,
Hmm.
so so going back to Nike, what I thought about this is I was just
Hmm.
making because a buddy of mine at work, David Dell, he's the coolest mofo. He's a huge Nike sneakerhead. But
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah.
all Nikes, all night. I mean, he's the guy that has the Jordans and the boxes that he never even
Oh
wears.
yeah.
Kind of thing like
Yeah.
that. Something special hits, he has to go get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I was like, just, I was saying, you see the price of Nikes, dude? It's going crazy. It's like, yeah, it was your buddy Trump, you voted for him, whatever kind of thing. And I was like, man, we might have to move to another shoe, maybe some made in the USA stuff. I was just joking with him, right? He goes, nah, man. I'm swoosh till I die, every day, all
Wow.
day, And I was like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
started laughing, but I was like, man, there's people that are like that. That's
Heck
all they
yeah,
wear is
man.
Nikes. They won't wear no
Bro.
Reeboks. They won't wear anything else.
Ah, bro. They won't. That's crazy. There's people definitely like that. Man, that's why Nike spent all that money like on these athletes, bro. They know if LeBron James or whoever else or Michael Jordan, if Kobe Bryant wants to wear Adidas, somebody else gonna want to wear Adidas, man. It's that crazy, bro. It's that crazy. For sure, bro. It's wild, man. It's wild.
And you see it going all the way back to the beginning of the show about went to the Rangers, Texas Rangers baseball game, the
Yeah.
ballpark. Everything was what's it called, branded, as far as,
Yep.
okay, this is the Whataburger pitch of the night, or first inning pitch by the Whataburger. This changing of the pitcher is brought to you by Justin Boots. Everything was like, every situation in the game, the Rangers were getting money from some sponsor. Oh, every situation was
Yeah.
sponsored. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, people leave so much money on the table by not, taking advantage of stuff like that. But the Rangers,
Mhm.
every single thing was sponsored. Every single
Heck
situation,
yeah.
changing the pitcher, the second strike, it's sponsored by Whataburger. Strike two, sponsored by, shit like that.
Straight up, man. They hitting you at like you said, that advertiser, man. They hitting you at every corner, bro.
Yeah.
Every corner.
And if someone hits a home run, it's a free tacos for everybody today at Taco Bueno. It's like,
Oh man, that's crazy.
but they're paying the Rangers for that space
Yeah,
to say their company's name. So
straight up.
powerful branding. That's what Myka preaches all the time, is
Yeah.
branding. And how are you out there strengthening your branding?
Oh, I tell you guys, I'm on LinkedIn all the time. LinkedIn. I just reshared it before we hopped on this cast. I reshared a post on LinkedIn from my Airbnb page. So yeah, you got to create a strong brand, something that people are going to be loyal to, and then know what your niche is. I made our niche customer service, so we always respond immediately to stuff. So that's always been our niche. So yeah, just find one thing you're good at and go after it, and that affects your pricing. I don't know. You remember Safeway, the grocery
Yeah,
store
yeah, I
Safeway?
remember Safeway. Yeah.
Safeway's prices are always more expensive than all the other stores. But what do they focus on? Customer service.
Hmm.
Every time. It wins every time. And who's always in there? Older people who are willing to spend more money just so you can give them special attention.
Hmm.
So, yeah, you got to find that niche, man, and go from there. Because Walmart, yeah, it's cheap, but it's some cheap ass customer service in there too. Yeah, somebody where something is. First thing they're going to say, man, I don't know. I just work here. So, straight up.
They put their employee. Well, this thing, their employees are always busy, man. They're always pushing a cart of things around somewhere in the store, man.
Straight up. And they don't know where nothing is.
Yeah, they'll send you on a wild goose chase, man. Like, you sure about that, bro? You sure that's where it's
Oh,
at?
yeah, bro. You ask a Walmart employee. Oh, no, I just work here, bro.
Just, I do
Man.
love the Target experience. I know I'm gonna pay more at
Yeah.
Target,
Yep.
but it's a
Same
nicer
thing.
experience, wide open.
Hmm.
Over there in Walmart, the aisles are so narrow. Lady with the
Yep.
carts going on the motorized cart, don't even go down that aisle. But
Straight up, though, man. Yeah. See, like Target's a perfect, and Target's has started to really cater to that. You know what I mean? You can go
yeah.
get your kids some pizza when you go to Target. It's a nice experience, bro.
Now
Straight
the
up.
the Target at my house, they kind of got rid of there used to be someone there that would serve like pizzas and hot
Hmm.
foods and stuff like that. Now it's just like a serve your own self. You know what I'm saying? And
Really?
scan your own items. So go to, yeah, they have like some items. There was no pizzas there. There was no popcorn. I was like, well, they have a spot for it, but I don't think they had it. They were really tending
Yeah.
to it too well, so I didn't like that. I always like the Target popcorn. I give me a bag of
Yeah.
that.
Heck yeah. Walk around the store, do your shopping. Yeah.
That crack popcorn. They sprinkle crack on that shit, but but it's good.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So building the brand. I got my brand back here, Argist Reynolds.
Yes, sir.
I've been approached about doing kind of partnerships on some deals as far as what we do in the space, finding midterms and short terms and stuff like that. And I'm just cautiously trying to find the best way to approach something like that because partnerships are difficult.
Yeah.
Partnerships are difficult, and I've made mistakes in the past, and
Yeah.
it's just hard to it's hard to be on the same page with a whole nother human being, that has a whole nother
Yeah.
head full of ideas and stuff.
Create create your standards of what a partner looks like. Once they fit those standards, after that, then then see what you guys can do together in a business sense. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Because yeah, JVs, they're hard to do. They're hard. I've made mistakes as well with them. They're hard to do, but create your just like you have a buy box for a property, create a box for someone who I'll do business with. Because yeah, partnerships are hard. Like, yeah, I have a partnership going with Mike, and then it's been good. It's been really good, man. He does a really good job. But yeah, I know what you mean on partnerships, bro.
It can be
Yeah,
rough, man.
it can. It
And
can.
it's any partnership, not just business and partner your
Yeah.
partner in life. It's
Yeah.
like everything you got to work at, man. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah.
Um,
Relationships are hard, bro.
they
Relationships are hard. You got to.
they can get pretty hard, but it's worth it if you're on the same page.
Straight up.
Uh, yeah, man. What else was I gonna bring up? What else you got on your topics list?
Oh man, I was actually so one question I did have. That's why I remember I texted you this week. I was like, "Do you have any duplexes that are, short-term rentals that you deal with?" Cuz I asked out to the group and they all made some good points cuz I was asking, should I do one internet connection? Right? Cuz I was going to do the StayFi thing, put it in a place where both sides of the duplex could get to it. But my guy made a good point. Um, so I talked to Mike about it. Shout out to Mike. And then I talked to my guy, Michael Ige, about it. Shout out to him. Mike was like, he said, you can do it. He does it. He was like, I do it. He goes, the thing about it is, he goes, it's really good. He goes, you have one internet connection. Everyone can connect to it. It hasn't been any problems. And then Mike Ige said the only issue is if you do have a problem with the internet, one unit, you got to go, let's say it's at the unit with the box.
Yeah.
You got to go to that unit, make an awkward. He goes, it's going to be an awkward conversation. By the way, the neighbor's internet's not working. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. So I was like, I'm thinking probably going to just do two connections, man. So yeah, that was
You
one
know,
thing. Go ahead.
a cool thing is that just reminded me of. So one of those houses that I had got a few months ago doing arbitrage. It's doing really good.
Yeah.
It's over
Yeah.
there in North Grand Prairie actually, but in like a little pocket of nice houses. And
Okay.
the way this guy, he was like I think like a computer engineer type
Okay.
person, right? This
Mhm.
Asian dude, real cool guy. Um, he walked the house with me. It was a newer house. I mean, it had a 4 bedrooms. It was nice and big, and it had an add-on in the back, and so it was a nice house. And one of the coolest things though is he wired every single room and the kitchen and living room with Ethernet.
Yep.
And so but the connection the was in the garage. So
Okay.
he had the internet, yeah, the modem and everything was in the garage mounted to the wall, and he had all these wires, and they were every single room was wired. And so that's like I've had people before, hey, you wired for Ethernet. Oh, we're wired in every single room and the kitchen
Yeah.
and the living room. It's everywhere in that house, man. If you want to plug directly in for some high-speed internet, you got it.
You know what? I was actually because my the new build, I was thinking about seeing if I could get them to add that to run Ethernet lines throughout every room because I have it ran here at this house. I had it manually done
Mhm.
at this house. And then another thing you brought up like wired internet. If I was to put one box in one room and it's all wired, something goes down. They plug in. Everybody's on the same network. So there's a few things, but yeah, wired Ethernet internet. That was another thing that came up. You're only going to have wired internet in one of the places because only one of them has access to the box. So yeah, I like the wired internet plan because I have I wired my house out as well.
hmm I mean, it
Yeah.
still has wireless, of course. You can still
Yeah,
hop
yeah,
on
yeah.
wireless, but it is if you do want that extra jolt of speed
Yeah.
in
It's
one
the
of the
people that
rooms.
yeah, those people who play video games and stuff who hardwire in, you have that worry. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just do 2 internet connections.
I just thought of it now
Hmm.
on the PadSplit deal. I should wire each room too.
Yeah, you should.
That's not a bad idea because then everybody will be able to
Ooh.
plug in, right?
You know why I would wire it now that I think about it? How
How's
many
that?
people? I wonder how many. You just made me
It's
think.
six
Oh,
bedrooms, so six six different people.
I wonder what that speed's going to be like. Let's say everybody has a phone. You have a phone. You have a laptop, TV.
I think it'd be all right. Because, I mean, people in a regular house is, about 5 people anyways, five, maybe six.
Yeah, because at my house, 5. Yeah, plus my father-in-law. Yeah, 5. Yeah, okay. I think it'd be okay.
Could be all right.
Unless you get some nerd in there, man, up in there
It needs to be
mining
wired
Bitcoin.
in.
No, I don't, I don't know if he's mining Bitcoin, but no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'll see.
Yeah, just thinking of these little things to make it a better experience.
Yeah, yeah. I would do wired. That's a good idea if you
Yeah.
could.
The better experience means you could charge more, and they're cool
That's
with it.
how I look at it. That's how I look, especially something like wired on a private room. I definitely think you could charge more for that, for sure.
One thing we were talking about, I heard this cool thing. I never even thought of this, right?
Okay.
And we talk about trying to buy houses, seller finance, right?
Yeah.
Or subject to, if that's
Yeah.
possible. Um, this one kid, yeah, kind of young dude. He came on Brandon Turner's Better Life podcast. It was really cool because he was talking. He owns a bunch of apartments now, and
Yeah.
how he was able to start, jumping from the single family to apartments
I know which
was.
one.
Oh, you heard the episode?
Yep. Go
Oh
ahead.
man. And
Yeah.
I'll just say the 20% thing,
Yeah.
people are like freaking out of the 20% thing. And he gets so many owners to carry that 20% for him.
Hmm.
So, and now he has to work with community banks and he has to do the legwork, try to find the right bank that'll do, okay, we'll pay 80%, but the 20%, okay, Wells Fargo says, hey, screw you, you ain't going to get 20% from him. No, we want
Yeah.
you to come up with the 20%, they want,
Yeah.
but you find the right bank to work with. Nice community. He always says community banks, and that's one play I never really messed with.
Me neither, bro. I need to do it. Yeah.
And so, getting the owner of the actual property to finance the 20% for him. So the bank's financing 80, and he's financing 20. He's getting into apartment complexes with $0 down, dude. Ain't that
Winning. He winning with that. That's a win.
so? There's
Can't
always a
lose.
way. There's always a
Always.
way.
Bro, it's always a way. That's what I'm saying. That's why I love it. Happy we're back, bro, because it's always a way. Always, always a way, bro.
The name of this episode. There's always a way.
I love it. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I don't know if our guests got some nice tidbits from this show. We just
Yeah.
we ramble, talk what we want to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, customer service is strong. The better customer service you can provide, amenities maybe, the more you can charge, and not only the more you can charge, the happier your customers will be.
Straight up. And the brand that you create. Because yeah, I'm really interested for you to get into started on PadSplit because I want to really see the results of that.
Looks like I'll be doing that, man. I'm gonna walk the house with Pablo this weekend and
Yeah.
and see how much he can do it for me for. And either way, if I go with Pablo or I go with the guy that's done it before, that does this, has 90 doors, that's
Yeah.
because
True.
you think about it. I'm turning my house into a miniature apartment complex.
Yeah. Straight up. You are.
It's like a 6-unit apartment complex. That's crazy.
Because my duplex is going to be 6 beds, 4 baths. If I was to get PadSplit down there, they could probably chop that thing up into 8 bedrooms and something. I don't know. So that's interesting.
Flip
But
it up,
yeah,
slap it, rub it down.
for real. But yeah, man.
Well, cool, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this show a little bit. I don't know. We just ramble. We just talk some noise. We have some
Yeah.
fun on here. Go Mavs tonight. Got another play-in game tonight. They could make the freaking playoffs. Imagine that. A 10th seed making the playoffs.
My lake show play tomorrow at 8:30. So if you want to catch me, if you're in the DFW, well, never mind. This episode ain't gonna be dropped, but we'll be at Pluckers tonight. Not tonight, tomorrow night. Me and my father-in-law, possibly Mahogany. be at Pluckers watching the game.
Which Pluckers in Arlington?
Yeah, one in Arlington.
At the Highlands?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I might go. I like that Pluckers.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Come through.
It's always everybody goes crazy there for the games, man.
Oh yeah, man. I went there. So funny thing is, I went there. So right when Luka got traded, Luka's first game playing the Mavs in LA, I went up there, man. And it was fun, man. Like it's crazy. Like a lot of Mavs fans, they had on the Luka jersey, but they were rooting for the Lakers, and they were pissed off at Nico. I was like, hey man, we still got room if y'all want to join us. Go ahead and leave Nico behind. So yeah, man, it was fun though. I love that Pluckers.
And that was my reason I told you that I pray that we get Kevin Durant. Because if he does great, that's great for us. We might win a championship. If he sucks, he's going to get our coach fired. He's going to get our GM fired. He's going to get Mark Cuban fired somehow. He'll take down a whole franchise, man.
Hey, man. KD and Russell Westbrook. Oh, yeah. They'll get somebody fired, bro. Bro, how did you fire your coach that just won an NBA title from 2 years ago? Oh, Russell Westbrook got the guy fired. I was like, damn.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Brick that guy's job. But yeah.
Brand loyalty, y'all. Brand loyalty all the way. Well, thanks for hopping on, checking us out. Where can people find us, Myka, again?
Find us, liveletthrive@gmail.com. Send us an email. Also, find us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff at Live Let Thrive. And you can also follow me and Steve as well. And if y'all have any questions, shoot them in. And we did just open our calendar back up. So if people want to book, I think the one guest that wants to book is we're going to be interviewing Frank from Hostfully. He wants to hop on. So I was like, nice. Let's do it. So we'll have some more guests coming here soon. So let's do it.
Brother. Peace out. Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.